Hello fellow pioneers, and welcome to my video on conveyor belt logistics using middle pillars, or as I like to call them, piddle millers. As you can see in front of you, I'm using the pillars themselves for running conveyor belts on, and I'm going to show you how you can easily use this and how you can do the turning with it so it all looks beautifully 90 degrees, all those wonderful things. I often use this technique for running conveyor belts from my miners to my production areas, and to do that I lay out a sky road because that gives me the exact spacing where everything needs to be. It keeps it snapped to the grid and it makes it really easy to transverse the terrain. So here I have a miner that I want to connect and run a conveyor belt from. The first step is knowing where everything's going to be placed. So you can do a little prep work to start off with. I know that this is where it's going to finish, and with using the pillars, they're always in the middle of a foundation when you place foundations down. To place a pillar through a foundation like this, you have to use the 2-meter foundations. If this was a 4-meter foundation, you can't place the next one below it. It has to do with how the game treats a pillar middle as a 4-meter foundation, and you can't encroach inside each other. So that's where I'm going to place it. That's what I need to know. I can leave that there. Well, I can simply put, as I demonstrated just before, that there, and you can do straight across to here, and there you go, you've got your first connection. But I don't like using the standard poles. I actually have another technique I really like to use, and it requires me to first put down a couple more because, you know, I need it to be fully supported. Remove the top one and put a stacker pole, 2 stacker poles. Then you can enclose that bottom stacker pole inside it, and there you go. You have a beautiful stacker pole, and you're ready for the next stacker pole later if you're going to run more along the same line. So it's kind of prepares you in advance without having to do much work. I really like the technique. I think it's cool. The little feet make it look like these are an alternate type of short pole. The next step is you want to run to the next foundation. So they are every 7 is when you can run the maximum length of conveyor belts. So I just simply run along my sky road. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. I can place it, and I get rid of that, and I've left with this here. And like I did just before, I placed them incorrectly. The snapping from above can be a bit far. What you might do is actually place just the first 2 and then go back later from underneath and place the remaining. It's a lot quicker to do it that way. And there you go. It's as simple as that. And then I can just hook my conveyor belt up from that one to here. The remaining technique is your required power. And that's just quite as simple as using the wall connectors. You will need to unlock these in the awesome shop first, but your power can run along the side of the pillar middles, and then you just simply get rid of, and there you go. It's as simple as that. So that's the first part. You run a section of these along. You just keep doing every 7 one of these, and then you'll get up to a turn or an intersection, and we'll show you that next. Here we are. This is the current spot I'm up to with these conveyor belts running on the pillar middles, and I have an existing row of conveyor belts running this way that's going to run that way, and I want to join them on. So there's already 2 conveyor belts running along, and this is going to be the 3rd conveyor belt that we will join to at the top, And this is the next part of the technique, is doing a 90-degree turn with the pillars. How do you do that exactly? If I show you to start off with what I mean, with what doesn't work, if you put a pillar here, and if you just run a conveyor belt to here, and if you try to put it in the middle, that's just not pretty at all, and no one's going to accept that. It'll be sent to the OCD jail for sure. So the way to resolve that is, if you start off with, remove that, put that there. If I use the walkways, so I'm going to put a walkway here, and then I'm going to get rid of this foundation, and I'm going to use the pillar middle, and I'm going to place the pillar middle, and you can see that's in the center. That's exactly where it was. If I move to the left a bit, it goes to the next snapping point. So now if I was to put a conveyor belt here like so, there is our perfectly aligned OCD conveyor belt. And as we were talking about before, obviously I want to keep maintaining that same theme. However, I'm not going to go to here, because this bad boy goes to here and goes on to there. And so does the next one. So I actually want to hit that one up there. So put this one in place so it's done and dusted. You can get rid of this walkway crossing when you're done. So all you need to do is grab your conveyor lift. It's facing that way. Connect it up. And beautiful. There, I've come in at the right height along here, and everything will be beautiful. And you've got that nice 90-degree corner. There we go. And the other thing we will do is hook up the power to the other power lines to make it all consistent. But it's a nice look. It's very easy to create. You can, like I said, you can use sky roads to start it out, to lay out where you want things to go, and then you just have to join it together with those techniques, and you have some really nice conveyor belt logistics across the landscape, and you don't tend to get caught in with the landscape and break the landscape. Thank you very much for watching. For many other videos on tips, tricks and tutorials, check out the Satisfactory Guru website. Thank you.